Alright guys, so this hybrid abomination is kind of what I have so far. So to explain, I was recording this earlier and then I realized this video is getting a bit long. So I cut out most of the thinking and deck building process, so basically here we are now with about whatever this is, this amalgamation. And I think, hell yeah, this is great. Let's open this. And mask. Might as well. And then I'll do some thinking on the rest. But anyways. So, having your cards banished with the Orcus, like, not the worst thing in the world. You can use Galatea and Mongirsu to keep cycling stuff back and forth. So, Orcus should do, like, alright against Runick, which is mostly what we're building against, what we're going to be trying to beat here. Sure, whatever. And a lot of these cards are surprisingly dark, which works out pretty well, I guess. Speaking of which, I forgot to put in some tech cards, I guess. That kind of thing. Throwing you. And view. Cool. I'll work on the ratios again later, but to deal with the floodgates, we have like Red Reboot, and to deal with the floodgates again, we have Time Pendulum Graph, and that will maybe not be enough, but it'll do some work. Time Pendulum Graph, and like we have Crescendo, we have Dingirsu, all of that good stuff. That'll probably help us out a bit. Well, whatever. So let's test hands to see how awful this is first off. You know what? Not the worst thing in the world. Anyway, this Skull Crobat Joker, Double Iris Magician. Okay. And we can always activate the Orcus cards later, actually, so after some slight reconsideration, we'll get rid of Pendulum Call and put back in Wisdom Eye. Because sure, you know, Wisdom Eye's eye. And I guess a Foolish Burial will go a long way. Who knows? So, the combo line, I think there's probably one if you just activate your brain, you know, like really grab your way to activate your brain here. And this is actually an 8 you can use to make Dingirsu with if you wanted. This is kind of also like that. So, I guess Unicorn is the missing piece here. For now, we can throw in Unicorn. So, it looks like I've gone pretty insane, but this has a lot of decent options. I don't know, maybe it's worth investing more in the pendulums, because with Time Pendulum Graph, none of your spellcaster monsters can be targeted with trap cards, which doesn't mean much, but with Star Pendulum Graph, your spell type monsters, or spellcaster type monsters, cannot be targeted by spell cards or effects, which counters a decent chunk of Runick. But the issue with that is you have to be playing around mostly spellcasters then, so you're locked into like mostly spellcasters. But also it's nice that Time Pendulum Graph actually really plays well against floodgates, and this can actually remove Runick Fountain as well, which is pretty swell. The slight downside, I guess, it might be that it's a continuous trap, so whatever there. But aside from that, yeah, I'm thinking this might work alright. Probably rethink the ratios and stuff a bit, but whatever, that's okay. It's the general idea that counts, it's the heart behind the deck, one might say. I think Gamma can come alive in this deck anytime it's like drawn, it's in hand. So that's great. Duelist Alliance. Orchestrated Return. Okay, so I guess this deck will need some work, but I'm sure it can function decently well. The issue here is the Orcust part of the deck, honestly. If we can work the Orcust part in more smoothly, it would probably... It wouldn't be too bad, honestly, this deck with how it is. Yeah, I think it's alright, honestly. So, yeah, I guess we'll just end it here. Because I'm just going to cuckoo, as you can tell by this list, but... I think a list like this can work with some more fine-tuning. Not completely sure what else to put in right now, but I feel like Penned Magicians with Orcust is probably possible to run. So, yeah. I'll just say for now that Evenly Matched will handle the floodgates very well, and then Red Reboot here can also turn off the floodgates. So, I'm mostly looking at these two options and seeing how I can fit them in with a deck right now, because they're just in general good and can probably like these two will help you out against a decent amount of the meta decks as well, and not just Runick. So we can probably go pretty hard with those. Aside from that, I don't really know. It's pretty rough for us either way. And the fact that they actually draw off of Fountain is annoying. Like, normally if it's like a low draw, it doesn't matter as much, because they're not that likely to draw that out, but if they draw 3, Thunder Dragon Colossus ain't that good, man. That's actually also sad. But I guess Thunder Dragon might have like a okay matchup as well, since they're banishing your cards. If they're banishing our cards here, in this case though, I don't think we can benefit enough for this to work out unless we go first. So maybe we can put in some more legal tech to make it work out. So I'll think on that a bit more. This is kind of a preliminary idea that I have. If you guys have any suggestions for deck ideas that'll be or have a good matchup against Runick, do well against Runick and meta, some stuff like that, then let me know, I guess. And yeah, let's actually leave it at that. So yeah, bye.